Hello everyone, welcome to Mastermind. In this video, let us continue with the geography of Karnataka. Geography of Karnataka, and this is fourth part. And this is fourth part. In this part, we will discuss questions related to the climate of Karnataka, and also a few questions related to the soil. Let us start with the first question. Which of the following statements about the climate of Karnataka is incorrect? Is incorrect. First statement says that the humidity in summer is lower in northern Maidan. The humidity in summer is lower in northern Maidan. Summer rains enable flowering of coffee plants. Third statement says summer rains help mango crops. Fourth statement says 30% of annual rainfall occurs during summer, especially in Karnataka, because this is in context of Karnataka. Here the incorrect statement is D, because 30% of rainfall will not be occurring in summer, especially in Karnataka. So when we are looking at climatic seasons, in Karnataka, majorly there are four seasons which we have to remember. So it will be very easy also for us. First one is the summer season. Next comes a rainy season. After which you have retreating monsoon. And after that you have winter season. Okay, retreating monsoon. We will understand about all of this in a little more detail as well in this particular video. Now, summer is from March to May. From June to September, you have rainy season. You have retreating monsoon from October to November. And December to February, we have winter season over here. Now, the characteristic of a summer is that it is very hot, dry, and sultry as well. Also, the temperature rises uniformly all over the states and reaches its maximum during April and May. It reaches its maximum. Now, in particular, if you are looking at districts, then Raichur has recorded the temperature of 45.6 degrees Celsius, which is the hottest place in Karnataka. The temperature is high even in other districts of northern Maidan, as we have seen in the previous part as well. For example, if we take this as a Karnataka as an example, then this is the coast. This particular region is the coast, and here we have Malnad region, and here this is Maidan region. This part is northern Maidan, and this part is southern Maidan. This part is northern Maidan, this part is southern Maidan. The humidity is lower in northern Maidan, whereas the humidity is higher in case of southern Maidan. Humidity is higher over here. In case of southern Maidan. So because of this, what happens is, when there is more humidity and with that there is more temperature, there will be evaporation which occurs. Because of this great evaporation, rain bearing clouds are also formed. So if one particular place is heated to a lot of extent and there is humidity also, then there will be evaporation. Which will lead to clouds also, which will lead to rain bearing clouds. And because of this, we get convectional rain, that is rain in one particular area, convectional rain, and this is accompanied with lightning also and thunder as well. These are observed usually in the summer. There are also hailstorms which is observed in a few places. Okay, this is very important for us. That is why there will be rain at some point of a time in the summer season as well. Now, because of this convectional rain, what happens is, it helps in the flowering of coffee plants, and this is known as cherry blossoms. And because of this rain, it comes before rainy season itself, correct? We are speaking about summer over here, and it comes just before rainy season as well. Okay, so because of that, it will lead to early growth in the mangoes also. That is, they will get a kickstart as well. So it is also known as mango shower. It is also known as mango shower. So it helps the mango crop as well. Okay, this is very important. And the annual rainfall, summer's contribution, annual rainfall of the state during summer season is around 7%. Around 7%. It is not 30%, it is around 7%. So I hope you have understood about this particular point over here. In case of this retreating monsoon, etc., we will discuss in the further questions. I hope this question is at least clear. Second question. Consider the following statements. First statement says that Agumbe in Karnataka is known as Chirapunji of South India. Chirapunji of South India. Second statement says that Chalakere in Karnataka records lowest rainfall in Karnataka. Here the answer is C. Both 1 and 2 are correct. So in case of this rainy season, this is known as southwest monsoon, correct? So the rain which we get at this point of a time is due to the southwest monsoon winds. Southwest monsoon winds. Let us look at one example over here. So let us take this as an example of India, and whatever comes from this part of whatever comes from this side, that is Arabian Sea side. Okay, so if you look at India, then this is north, this is south, this is west, and this is east, correct? So the winds which comes from southwest direction, they bring the rainfall. Majority of the rainfall in the state occurs from the southwest monsoon. So southwest monsoon goes something like this. Southwest monsoon goes something like this. And we had also seen a statement called as retreating monsoon. We had seen retreating monsoon, that is, this has to retreat as well. And there is northeast monsoon, that is, it comes from this side. It comes from this side. Okay, not just over here, but it is widely distributed. So it passes like this. So this happens usually during October and November. And because of that only, you can see there are a lot of natural disasters. For example, there is a lot of chaos at this point of a time in case of cyclones as well in the eastern side of India. In the eastern side of India, that is, you can see the cyclones near Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, etc. We have seen a lot of these cyclones as well, and that is because of this northeast monsoon. However, let us continue with the southwest monsoon winds. Okay, now we have seen that this side is our state, correct? This side is our state, and that side is Western Ghats. That side we have Western Ghats. We have discussed about those in the previous part of this particular series as well. So the Western Ghats, they check the monsoon laden winds. Here there is another catch. That is, when we were discussing about Western Ghats, we had seen that this side, if we look at the west side, and this is east side, correct? So if we look at the west side, it is very steep. That is, they form the rain shadow area. Rain shadow belt is formed behind this, correct? We have seen an example of that also. So that is, in other words, if I have to say, then let us say these are some of the rain bearing clouds. So this side is very steep, that is, the west side is very steep where compared to that of the eastern side. So what happens is, these clouds come in contact with this side directly, and all the rain falls over this particular side itself. So you don't have any rain left for this particular side. So this particular side is called as rain shadow area. Okay, in this case also, the Western Ghats checks the moisture laden winds blowing from the Arabian Sea, resulting in heavy rain in this particular area. Now, as it moves towards the east, the rainfall reduces because this side is very steep. That is, the eastern Maidan, it is a rain shadow area. So on that note only, if you look at the highest rainfall region, then it is Agumbe, which is the area of heavy rainfall, and hence it is called as the Chirapunji of South India. Other than that, there is Bhagamandala, Hulikal. These are other places wherein you have heavy rainfall. Similarly, Chitradurga district's Chalakere records the lowest rainfall. So in case of Karnataka, 80% of rainfall, 80% of rainfall happens in the rainy season itself. Because the rainfall occurs during our summer season also, winter season also, but 80% of the state's contribution will have from the rainy season itself in that particular point of a time. So because of this, it leads to good cultivation of kharif crops. It leads to better cultivation of kharif crops. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Third question says, which of the below statements is incorrect regarding climate of Karnataka? First statement says that monsoon season is called as tourist month of the state. Second statement says that retreating monsoon brings more rainfall than winter season. Tourist month of the state, retreating monsoon brings more rainfall than winter season. Northeast monsoon brings less rainfall compared to southwest monsoon. D says all of the above. Here the incorrect statement is A. Monsoon season is not called as tourist month of the state, whereas winter season is called as tourist month of the state. The period of retreating monsoon also we have discussed, that is northeast monsoon season. Northeast monsoon season is the period of retreating monsoon, and they also bring in cyclones from Bay of Bengal during November December times also, and the northeast monsoon contribute to 12% of rainfall. 12% of the rainfall to Karnataka. So when you look at winter is known as tourist month of the state. It is known as tourist month of the state. The sky is very clear at that point of a time, and average temperature also is 25 degree to 27 degrees Celsius. So people can see the beauty of Karnataka at that particular point of a time without any obstruction as such. Now, the lowest temperature is usually recorded during January. It is a month which records the lowest temperature. And because of all these only, this season itself is called as the tourist month of the state. The minimum temperature is recorded in Belagavi. It is recorded in Belagavi, and that is 6.7 degrees centigrade. 6.7 degrees it was recorded. Whereas you can see there are lower temperatures even in northern districts. For example, Vijayapura, then there is Kalburgi, Bidar, etc. They also have very low temperature during winter season. Also, rainfall occurs in winter season, but rainfall is very minimal. Rainfall is minimal. So around 1% of total rainfall contribution to Karnataka is from winter season. Also, there is heavy fog situation also during the early mornings. So if you look at the distribution of rainfall itself, then the Malnad and the coastal plain receive heavy rainfall, whereas the eastern Maidan receives low rainfall, and the reason for that we have seen also. So I hope you have understood about this. Let us move to the fourth question. The color of red soil is due to the presence of, so the soil color is red. The red is due to the presence of, iron oxides. It is due to the presence of iron oxides. So now there are different kinds of soil also. So in Karnataka also you can classify them into 4 types. Soil types in Karnataka you can classify them into 4 types. First one is red soil. Second one is black soil. Third one is laterite soil. And fourth one is coastal alluvial soil. So when we look at red soil itself, so let us draw a diagram for that. Okay, that is the spider diagram in order to remember about this. So let us look at red soil. Now red soil is red because of the presence of iron oxides. Very, very important, and it is most asked question also. Now this soil is obtained from weathering of granites. Okay, so it is caused due to the weathering of granites, and because it contains iron oxides, it is red in color. Now this soil is rich. This soil is rich in iron, lime, and salt. Iron, lime, and salt. But it contains less amount of humus. So it is poor in humus. It is poor in humus. Okay, it is light, it has thin layers, and it is not very fertile. This red soil is not very fertile. That is, it is fertile but not so much, not very fertile. So it is widely distributed in Karnataka, and it is found in the southern part of Karnataka. So if we take this as an example of Karnataka, then you can see that the southern part of Karnataka has a red soil, majorly red soil, and northern part of Karnataka has black soil majorly, and the laterite soil is also distributed across Karnataka. Laterite soil is distributed across Karnataka. Whereas if you look at the coastal part of Karnataka, you have coastal alluvial soil. Okay, so this is the brief distribution of this particular soil. So when it says South Karnataka, then you can see that ragi cultivation occurs over here. Correct, ragi cultivation occurs over here. So ragi, jowar, bajra, millets, pulses, tobacco, groundnut, etc. are rain fed crops and can be grown in this particular soil. Okay, can be grown in this particular soil. So if you consider districts, then it is Tumkuru, Bengaluru, Ramnagara, Chikballapura, Kolara, Chamarajnagara, Mandya, and Mysore. So these have majority of red soil. So I hope you have understood about this. Let us move on to the last question. Fifth question. Weathering of basalt rocks, they lead to the formation of weathering of basalt rock leads to the formation of black soil. So the weathering of granite will lead to the formation of red soil. So weathering of basalt rock leads to the formation of black soil. In case of black soil, they are rich in aluminum, magnesium, and oxides of iron. Aluminum, magnesium, and oxides of iron, and because of that only it is black in color. Okay, it is also called as black cotton soil because it retains moisture for many days, and hence it is very good for the growth of cotton as well. Other than cotton, there is growth of jowar, maize, sunflower, chili, paddy, pulses, onion, etc. So because this is present in most northern Maidan region, mostly in the northern Maidan region, you can see the districts being Dharwad, Gadag, Ballari, Koppal, Kalburgi. Then there is Yadgir, Bagalkot, Belagavi, and Chitradurga. So in the middle portion, you have Ranebennur. So Ranebennur is considered as the exact middle point. Okay, exact middle point of Karnataka. That is, after that only it is exactly northern Karnataka, and after that only there is southern Karnataka. That is, if you go towards Haveri side, it is northern Karnataka or northern Maija, and if you come towards Davangere side, then it is called as southern Karnataka. So that is the brief distribution in order to understand about what is the proper distribution as such. So this type of soil is extensively found in the northern Karnataka region. So I hope you have understood about the questions in this particular point of video also, and also all the questions with respect to weathering, climate, and soil. We will continue the series in the next part also. At the end of the e-paper, there are further multiple choice questions as well. You can attempt those. Thank you. I'll see you soon in the next one.